picking up my order at Starbucks. And I was going in, there was another guy coming out, and he had his hands like kind of full. Like I was gonna help him with the door, and he was coming out and was already a couple steps like away from the door toward his car, and I was coming in, and he literally stopped, turned around, and went back to the door to open it for me. And I was like, hello. You don't see that often anymore. Now, I have lived in the South, Texas, but up here in motherfucking Northwest Indiana, you do not see that ever. And I love it. And whoever that man was, thank you. That made my day. And I hope that my son will grow up to do stuff like that, because those little things are just so nice. Anyway, just had to share that. Y'all, this is fucking stupid. By the way, I got my eyebrows redone. They're a little too dark, but it'll fade in a hot sec. Today is a Thursday, the 22nd, and we have a ice snowstorm hitting, as you can see here. I don't ever fucking order stuff from Walmart. First of all, I can't even stand the idea of going into a Walmart. But groceries are expensive, motherfuckers. So I started buying the kids' and my husband's food at Walmart because it's a lot cheaper. So I placed the order Tuesday for delivery Wednesday, because I figured they would need some time with like the holiday rush and stuff like that. Supposed to be delivered yesterday between 4 and 5. Didn't get delivered. I got an email saying it's been delayed. Okay, I get it. It's before Christmas, it's before a snowstorm, whatever. So I get no other updates all night, and quite honestly, I sort of forgot about it and fell asleep. Woke up at 4:30 this morning and was like, fuck. Did my stuff get delivered? And it's been sitting on the front stoop all night. No, it hasn't. I got no updates since the delay. I go in the app and it still is at delayed status. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I need to allow time for like a manager or something to get in. So I waited. It's like 9 o'clock this morning. Checked status, still nothing. Got on their little web chat and they were like, oh yeah, it got delayed. Don't worry. Since we missed the window, we're going to put you in the front of it. They should have this assigned to a delivery driver right away, and you should have it within an hour. If you don't have it within an hour, call the store directly at this number and they can, I don't know, figure it out. So I gave them 90 minutes. And no delivery. Okay, so I get back on the chat and I'm like, yo. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Then I called the number they told me to call. You can probably imagine how that went. No answer. None. Because they're probably busy. Fucking busy. So I get back in the web chat and they were like, oh, well, let me reach out to them. So then they come back and they tell me, oh, it's been delayed. I'm like, no shit, bitches. But now they can't guarantee it till 8 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. This is groceries, first of all. So, like, okay. But the snowstorm is supposed to be tonight and throughout tomorrow. So, like, do you think it's really going to show up at 8 o'clock tomorrow? No. So, finally, I was just like, okay, look, that's not going to work. Can I come pick it up? And they were like, well, we can send them a notification, but if they're that busy, they're not answering the phone, they're probably not going to be checking their emails. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? So anyway, they escalated to a manager and they got it flipped over to pick up. And so I start coming over, like, it's fine. Like, I'm in Indiana. Like, it fucking snows here. Get over it. But it's taken me, this is like 3-4 miles from where I work. It's taken 45 minutes to get here because it's like bumper to bumper. It's fucking frustrating. And I'm so dumb. I was like, you have to go pee before you get in the car, because y'all know I drink a lot of fucking water. Gotta go pee before you get in the car, because you're probably gonna end up sitting. Well, someone came into my office before I left, and we started talking, and I forgot to go pee. So I've been sitting in traffic, and I have to fucking pee. And now I'm sitting here waiting for my order in my pickup spot, and I have to fucking pee, and I don't know how long it's gonna take to get home, and just pray for me that I don't have to go to the side of the road or fucking wall. But I think they have my order, so hang on. Okay, sorry. I got the goods. I got the fucking goods. Yes. Sorry. Close up. And I also had to stop at the liquor store to get my dad some stuff, because they are flying in late on Christmas Eve to surprise my kiddos. My parents live in Florida. We don't just get to see them that often. My kids are very close with them. And yeah, they're gonna come surprise the kids. So part of the reason I needed this delivery was because I needed to get them some groceries, because like, they don't eat my stuff. So anyway, I have stuff at the liquor store. My dad's favorite is Southern Comfort, and we don't drink that, so yeah. I assigned it to my husband 5 days ago, and I was like, I haven't seen that come in the house. So I sent him a text message this morning, and I was like, Southern Comfort? And he was like, huh? And I put the liquor store, and he responded, oh yeah, pick up some Captain too. And I'm like, bitch, you were supposed to. Now I gotta get more stuff? I'm already out though. I'm already out. May as well. This is why I have a hard time delegating, because it doesn't get done. Anyway, that is not the point. This is not the point of this video. While I am indisposed trying to find liquor and groceries and get home, I thought I would give you an update. I know I mentioned in my previous video that I had an appointment with a naturopath. So I've never done it before. Came highly recommended. It's actually something that one of my previous nutrition coaches had recommended. Basically, they go through a lot of the same schooling. There are medical doctors or MDs, but they have like another version, and they kind of look at like your systems holistically, I guess. I don't know if I'm using the right words, but kind of, instead of like, I'm a specialist that specializes in GI, and that's the only thing I specialize in, you know, these people will look at how is the GI system affected by the thyroid system, and like the things being intertwined. So I don't know, and they just kind of look at things in like an optimizing and prevention sort of way versus like a just give you a quick fix kind of a thing. So yeah, it was interesting. So my first appointment with her, I had to wait. There was a wait list, but it was someone that came very highly recommended, so I figured I'd rather wait and talk to someone who was good. Yeah. So I had to fill out a very, I don't know if I'm call it lengthy, but detailed. We'll call it detailed questionnaire that went into all kinds of things like, where the fuck is the liquor store around here? Went into all kinds of things from like family history, autoimmune stuff. Like we got to talk about my thyroid stuff, all this stuff, any medications, any supplements, diet, exercise, sleep, like just some things were very similar to like some of my intake forms I use for my clients, because all this stuff again is related. But yeah, anyway, I think my first appointment was about an hour once I got on with her, and it's all telemedicine, so I got to do it from my office, which was kind of nice. So got to know the doctor, she got to know me, and ask obviously much more detailed questions based on what I talked about in my questionnaire. We talked about my goals, and I had basically told her, you know, that I'm going to be starting contest prep, and I wanted to make sure that sort of all systems were go, you know, kind of like I've been saying with all this other stuff, just, you know, making sure I'm in the best position I can be, because contest prep is stressful as fuck on your system. So if you have something brewing, putting a huge stressor on your system is probably gonna do nothing but make that worse. So she's very familiar with working with athletes and bodybuilders specifically, so understands the dynamics of what contest prep does, and hormones, stuff like that. She was actually the first one, by the way, because I saw her before I got the results from the kidney doctor. She was the first one to say that the labs may have been thrown off because of my muscle mass, which is very interesting, because no other doctor had said that except her and then the nephrologist. So interesting. Anyway, so she ordered a crap ton of labs. Crap ton. May as well have just donated blood, but it was kind of some baseline ones, some I don't know, like comprehensive metabolic panels, very specific hormonal ones, female hormone stuff, thyroid hormone stuff, inflammation markers, stress markers, all that stuff. So yeah, I've been having problems with like my menstrual cycle being really, really weird. Sorry if there's guys watching, this is gonna get personal, but it is what it is. So, ooh, I found a liquor store. So anyway, she did all kinds of stuff, did the labs, got the results, and I had a follow-up set. So I got the results probably a couple days before the follow-up, and I looked at them and I was like, okay, they were mostly within normal ranges, except for some of the cholesterol stuff, which I will go into. But looking at them, I was like, oh, I think a follow-up's going to be pretty good. She's going to say that, like, everything's in good order. Carry on. No. That is not, in fact, what she said. My follow-up ended it was almost 90 minutes, and we went through, line by line, every fucking result, which, number one, how often do you see doctors that spend that kind of time with you anymore? And number two, that go into the detail to explain what it is they're looking for, why they're looking for it, and why, if it falls in a normal range, it still may be an area of concern. So, super, super interesting. I took a bunch of notes, because there was a lot to unpack there. I'm pulling in the liquor store now, so I'm gonna go hook my daddy up with some liquor, and I'll be right back, and we can talk about these as I drive home. Hang tight. And I'm back. Mission accomplished at the fucking liquor store. So yeah, I'm gonna be that basic bitch, I guess, today, where who goes out to get last minute groceries, even if they weren't last minute, and loads up at the liquor store before a snowstorm, even though I'm not even drinking. Anyway, I want to show you this. I have 3 pages of sticky notes from this office visit, follow-up visit, lab visit, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm going to try to go over these with you while I drive home. This will be fun. So, first one, we talked about kidney function and stuff like that, and she's like, even though he said everything was okay, given your family history and your very high protein diet, we want to make sure that those kidneys stay as healthy as possible and are filtering at the optimal amount that they can. So there's some sort of supplement that can help with your kidney filtration. So she's going to send me that. It's like 2 Treasures, I think it was called. I've never heard of it. And then she wants us to do my kidney panel about every 6 months, which is pretty close to, you know, what the nephrologist had recommended anyway. So, turn this down now. Dang it. Okay, defrost. So anyway, there's that. The next one, cholesterol. So this is the one that I at least had seen that looked like it was out of range. So basically, the cholesterol was high, but she said that's kind of expected with my higher protein diet, obviously. She wasn't worried about it until it was just like barely high. And she's like, given your high protein diet, again, that's kind of to be expected. And like, then she gave me the threshold of where she would be a concern with anything, and we weren't at all near that. She did say, however, that, oh wait, no, that's somewhere else. Okay, so she wasn't worried about cholesterol. It's actually okay if it hits the threshold that she's concerned about, that may do something about it. I do have high cholesterol that runs in the family, which you can still have the best diet in the world, and you still could have some predisposition for higher cholesterol. So that is what it is, but nothing I'm concerned at this point. Next one was C-reactive protein, which basically measures for inflammation, and that one was actually on the low end of normal, which is good, which means I don't have a lot of inflammation going on in my body right now. So that's good. It's a good indicator that you're not overstressing my system currently. She did say that my triglycerides, even though they fell in the normal range, were low for what she would expect, given, again, my diet and stuff like that. So she said what that meant to her was, even though it was in the normal range, it was in the lower end of the normal range, and what she thinks is that I'm actually having a harder time digesting and absorbing my animal proteins. So she's going to, I am on a digestive enzyme already, but she was actually going to switch me to a different one. And I was only taking one digestive enzyme at night, and she's like, no, I want you to take one with each meal, where your protein intake is more than like 4 ounces. So that made a lot more sense. So basically she's saying it was indicative of not having enough of basically the stomach acid to break down the proteins so I could absorb them properly. So I was getting less absorption despite my intake. So that, definitely want to fix that. Let's see here. She gave me a bunch of different like if this then that sort of thing, depending on what and how much I was eating. Talked about the kidney thing. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm going really slow, so don't think that, like, I'm not looking at the road. She said electrolytes. I need to start adding electrolytes into my drinks, especially on big workout days. She said I probably need to add a little bit more salt to my food. So basically the sodium in my system was low. And again, it fell in the normal range, but the low end of the normal range. And so she's like, have you had, you know, all the, like, these symptoms and these symptoms? And I was like, not that I noticed or whatever. And she's like, okay. So you're going to want to make sure, obviously, that you're taking in electrolytes, because with working out 6 days a week, you could be losing things to sweat that you're not even realizing, especially in the winter when you don't notice getting sweaty because you're kind of cold. You're still emitting that. So yeah, I have to have more salt, which is nice because I actually like salty stuff. So she made some recommendations. There's a ton out there that are 0 sugar, so she made some recommendations on that. And then we got to thyroid. So my TSH, I know where I typically fall when I feel my best with my TSH. interesting because I was starting to feel quote unquote thyroidy, and that's just like a word that I've made up, but I usually feel some type of way of my thyroid isn't quite on point. Like I get these weird like leg aches. I can't really explain. I have this feeling on the skin of my forearms where it's like oversensitive to touching of anything. I don't know, just a lot of things, and it's just something that I've noticed over time. And it always coincides with my labs being a little weird with my thyroid. So, sure as shit. She ran some other thyroid markers than what my regular endocrine runs. So basically what she said is that from looking at it comprehensively and all those markers, that she didn't think that changing my current medication, increasing the dose, was going to do much good, because how she was reading it was that there's like T3, T4, TSH, blah, blah, blah. But basically, I didn't have enough of what my body needed to convert the medication I was taking into a usable form. So if she just gave me a higher dose, it basically wouldn't do any good because my body wouldn't be able to convert it. So she's going to add another thyroid medication that provides T3, maybe? T3? To help me convert what I'm already taking. And then we're going to rerun those and see how that's looking. So then we got into IGF, which I believe is growth factor. So again, I fell in a normal range. However, she said for someone who is a bodybuilder and an athlete, I was significantly low from where she would expect or want an athlete to be. So, this one, I don't know, there was a whole lot of instructions with this, and she started to lose me on this part, but basically, you want to supplement my growth factors to bring me up to the higher end of the normal, so that I would have optimal functioning, and it helps promote, not growth of muscle mass, but I guess like retention of muscle mass, which will help you in a prep. Let's see, and then she changed my magnesium because she changed it last time and we haven't really seen much change. Part of that is because the thyroid isn't working yet. Basically, my GI system is at a fucking stall, and I'm not having a lot of, what is the word, motility. So the girl's full of shit. Seriously though, like, yeah, we need to get that squared away, because as you take away more food, it's only going to slow down more. So we don't need to have like an intestinal blockage going on, because that's not good. Oh my god, motherfucker, like, drive, you were in a pickup truck, Jesus. Okay, so then that went into estrogen and progesterone. So, sorry boys, I'm going to talk about some female shit here, but my cycle has been irregular my entire life, so that's not anything new. Definitely, as my thyroid got weirder, my cycle got weirder. Then, noticeably more this year, it has been all over the board. It could be a 2-week cycle, it could be a 10-week cycle. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It comes and goes as it pleases, which is not ideal and not fun. Yeah. So she tested a lot, my estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and I don't know, some other shit. So basically, my estrogen and progesterone are very low. To the point where I'm not hitting, I'm trying to understand this, the luteal phase, which is basically preventing me from ovulating. So I'm not getting the spike in estrogen that is needed in order to create the release of progesterone for the cycle to actually work properly, which explains why I may have an extremely short cycle because I'm not ovulating, or a very long one because I'm not ovulating and it's just like, fuck it, we're just going to skip this one. So she said likely it's due to being at a lower percent of body fat. I don't feel like I'm that low. I'm at like 18, 19 according to my scale. Like, it's not it's nothing to write home about. But my body isn't happy about it, I guess. And it's been like that for about a year. So she is actually going to give me a very, very low dose of progesterone, which I guess if we address that, it'll help with the estrogen part. I don't know. They're all related. And this is really going back to a lot of my chemistry shit, so I don't remember. So she gave me some really specific instructions because you have to time when you're starting it and stuff like that, so you don't make things worse with your cycle. And then testosterone. Testosterone was in the normal range, but low. Again, especially for a bodybuilder and an athlete. So she would have wanted me to get on some TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, TRT. Just a small amount to bring me to like a better level. I think that is all of it. So there's a lot going on there. She changed my magnesium, she changed my digestive enzymes, she was giving me kidney filtration supplements, electrolytes. Those are all supplement things, that's all good. But then she was talking about giving me, T3 for the thyroid, progesterone, IGF, and testosterone, which is a lot of fucking hormones. So one of the conversations that we had to have, because as she went, I was like, whoa, this is a fuck ton of, like, I don't know how I feel about all this. And she's like, so you have to kind of look at this on a spectrum. Like, you're asking me what my opinion is. This is where I'm seeing inefficiencies or things that may not be working optimally for you. So she goes, do you want to start taking 4 different hormones at the same time? Hell no, because you're not going to know what the fuck is working, what isn't working, what side effects is from what thing. Like, you don't know. So she was like, we don't need to jump onto the train with all of this all at the same time. I wouldn't even recommend that. But she's like, I know you have a coach, go talk to your coach. Here are my recommendations in terms of prioritizing these. Obviously, we need to deal with the thyroid. You're already feeling thyroidy. We know you're not converting it. That's something that's going to have to get dealt with. Progesterone, again, you're not functioning normally. You've had symptoms of it for over a year. Probably need to address it. Especially before you get to an even lower body fat that you're about to start. That makes sense. She said the testosterone and the IGF is sort of like optimization type of things, and that could be something we can decide on later. So that helped. So I sent a message to my coach with basically like her visit summary, because I was like, I don't know, I'm trying to explain this. Here's what she said. Here's what she wants to do. We can talk about it in more detail. And when he first read it, he was like, whoa, like, whoa. Like, this is a lot. Like, literally what I just said. He's like, this is a lot. I think we need to maybe get a second opinion if this doctor is trying to put you on all this stuff at the same time. So I responded and I was like, well, okay, like, I haven't gotten into all the details. I just wanted to give you the information first. That's kind of what we talked about, was like what needs to be addressed and what is more of an optimization, stuff like that. And I go, I'm pretty sure that some of the stuff may not allow me to compete as a natural. Because even like testosterone, my testosterone is low. If I take that, it may not matter if it's for medical necessity. I would not pass the drug test and I would not be able to get an exemption. So like, he sort of directed me through that and was like, so that's what you're going to need to think about, and with IGF as well, because some competitors and some coaches will, and even with thyroid stuff, will manipulate these to make it easier to grow and maintain muscle, to burn body fat, stuff like that. So the natural federations, which is what I'm looking at more of, it obviously tests for these things. There are some exemptions that can be made, with a doctor's note, and as long as you fall within the normal parameters and you're not off the charts when they test you, you can be exempt for stuff like that. So basically my coach and I collectively agreed, like, we'll do the progesterone and the thyroid because we agree that we need those to be in order, you know, to make prep go as it should, because if your thyroid's not working right, like, you're not going to drop the body fat. It could get real ugly. So he was on board with that, and he was like, you know, testosterone, you're never going to get an exemption for that from any of the natural federations. There are no exemptions for it. It doesn't matter if you are in a case where you need it for medical necessity and you're potentially having issues that this needs to symptoms and stuff like that, then that's a bridge that you cross at that time. He's like, do what you want, like, this obviously it's your decision. And I was like, no, like, the idea of taking testosterone to me is scary, and until it impacts my daily life, I don't want to play with it, I guess. You know, when it starts impacting my daily life and it's something that I need to make my quality of life better, I will consider it at that point. But until at that point, I don't want to play with that. I don't. Same with the growth factor thing. And I was like, you know, I'm in the normal limits now. We're talking about this just being an optimization. And again, it's important to me, at least at this point. I don't know enough about everything, but it's important to me to stay natural. And part of that is because one of the reasons I wanted to go on my bodybuilding journey was to see what my body could do, to see where I could get my body and how I could sculpt it and stuff like that. And I feel like for me, and this is no judgment against anyone else, because if you take any of those things, it doesn't mean that you don't work hard. So I'm just gonna say that it doesn't mean you don't work hard. You still have to put in the fucking work. But for me personally, I don't want to have any asterisk next to my performance that would say, but they took that, but maybe they had some help, but maybe blah blah blah. So I don't know. Everyone feels differently. I may feel differently about that at some point in the future. I don't know. I'm just saying where I'm at right now. I have never even fucking competed before. I don't feel like there is a need to go play around in that arena at this point. I don't know enough. We have never even seen what I look like stage lean. I don't think it is a good decision at this juncture. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And if having low values eventually affects my daily living, then that's a whole different ballgame. That is not related to competing. That's quality of life then. And that's a decision that must be made. But I'm not there yet. I ain't gonna worry about it. That's the gist of it. That was real short, right? 20-minute explanation. But just, man, there's a lot. And I think it's I've never, ever had a doctor go into so much detail. It was actually a little overwhelming, and I needed some time to process it. But I'm very glad that I did it, because I want contest prep is not, like, super healthy, y'all. It's not. And I don't want to fuck my shit up. So I want to give my body the best chance I can for this to be done properly. I have a very good coach. We have a strategy that is going to let me do things in a slow, strategic manner versus crash dieting, stuff like that. So that has been my approach with this so far, and I'm going to fix what needs to be fixed, because I am symptomatic with the thyroid and the cycle issues. So those are the things that I'm going to deal with. I will take the supplements. Those are fine, but I am not going to play around with any of the other hormones that we talked about at this point. So this also, like, you have to do your homework and you have to make decisions for yourself, because she would have written me that script out of the gate, and somebody else who maybe didn't do their research, or maybe didn't have a coach who was willing to have those honest conversations with them and have similar ideas and goals and just education, would have just started taking them, not knowing that, there can be effects down the line in terms of how you can compete, but also effects down the line in, like, your general health and stuff like that. So very, very informative, very, very good. But ultimately, like, not pushy at all, left it to where I can make this decision on my own on what I want to do, and she will only order what it is that I have decided that I want to move forward with. So that was a lot. I don't even know if that made sense. I feel like I was babbling, but sorry, not sorry. It got me all the way to my garage, which we're pulling into right now. That's probably gonna be the end of this video. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm gonna leave it at that for now. It is, like I said, December 22nd. So I don't know if I'm gonna film again before Christmas. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I hope that you enjoy your holiday, enjoy your time with your loved ones. I hope you don't act like a bunch of assholes and eat everything you see in sight. But if you do, I hope that you're able to get right back on the wagon the next day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment here, guys. I'm trying to build my reach on this channel, and it's pretty sad so far. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not looking to be famous here, because let's be real, I've aged out of that. But I just want to help people, and anyone who's going through this or just needs information or just wants to be fucking entertained by my weird ass life, I don't know, I'm here for it. And thank you for watching this far into my dissertation on my fucking naturopath visit. I will leave a link in the description of who it is that I saw for that, and yeah, feel free to check them out. Very, very knowledgeable, and so far so good. I like her. But that's that. I will see you guys after the holiday.